The Thriving Doctor's Download with Lizzie Paish. A guide to finding peace of mind and accessing your full potential. Episode 2. Innate Wellbeing. One of the key ideas that underpins everything I'll be sharing with you here is that there is more to us than we typically think. We tend to have a pretty solid sense of who we are and what we're capable of, often based mostly on what we've achieved or not achieved already. We have an identity that we think is reality. The more we believe in that identity, think it's all of who we are, the more anything that threatens it, like any mistake, criticism, lack of knowledge or understanding, leaves us feeling insecure and as if we must defend it at all costs. But this identity we're so determined to protect is simply a made-up notion, made up by us. We tend to believe that well-being will come at some point from greater success, more knowledge or increased skill, and that these are the things that make us of value. We believe that in order for us to experience well-being, we have to live up to the identity that we've created. But none of this is true. With this way of thinking, we're on a never-ending treadmill, which is ultimately exhausting and unfulfilling. Becoming even better at what you do and achieving greater recognition will no doubt be elements of your career, and they're worthy professional goals. But believing your well-being has anything to do with them can lead to anxiety, stress, overwhelm, burnout, and relationship conflict. So I ask you to consider well-being in a different way. It is not contingent on achievement, status, or even knowledge. Success or failure, praise or criticism, workload and complexity of the problems you face cannot give it to you or take it away. Who you are is greater than what you do. Well-being is innate, built into who you are. Like the sun behind the clouds, it can be hidden, invisible to you, but you can never be without it. Therefore, as on a cloudy day, there's nothing you need to do to find it. If you knew that to be true, how many things that currently overwhelm you could be seen from a different perspective? Even if you just consider that it might be true, what could change? Because although you will still have a full schedule and perhaps too much to do for the amount of time available, although you might sometimes get things wrong or people may complain or criticize you, when your identity and your well-being are not at stake, your mind can remain clear. You do not need to defend or protect that identity which you made up in the first place. That leaves you free to see clearly what's going on, to listen without reactivity or anger, and to make better decisions about how to move forward. You'll know whether you need to explain or justify yourself, or whether it simply isn't necessary. Your mind is at its most powerful when it's quiet, when you're not feeling defensive or fearful, angry or worked up in any way. Clarity emerges when our minds are not racing and overthinking and dramatizing. We know this, really. I think most of us have had the experience of coming up with new insight, a fresh solution, or seeing someone else's point of view, when our minds get a chance to quieten, maybe when we give up on a problem, perhaps in the shower, out running, driving the car, or even in a crisis when we don't have time to really think. We know the benefits of a quiet mind, but we've forgotten how to get there. Hard work can lead to brilliant outcomes, but there's still a limit. If you've reached the point where the results you're getting come at too high a cost, or where you're feeling stuck, perhaps it's time to look in a different direction. A quiet mind is your natural state, and your greatest asset. It's where you'll rediscover well-being, if you're prepared to look. You may wonder how to do that. Quietude isn't familiar to most busy, hard-working, problem-solving minds. This series points to how we can find that inner space of quiet within, in that different direction. Though you may not be able to see it just now, it is possible to experience your current circumstances in a new way. A settled mind can lead you to experience life in a state of flow rather than striving, ease rather than stress. Keep listening then to gradually and gently unravel how that can be achieved for you. It's not a quick fix answer, but the gradual realization that there is another way, which is life-changing and sustainable. I hope you'll continue to join me. If you'd like to find out more about my work and access free materials, visit my website at lizziepaish.com.